And I recommend to anybody, if you want to find out why America's in trouble, go knocking door to door in a low-rent neighborhood and ask for the rent. You'll hear the American attitude coming out. It's horrifying. The rich are evil, tax the rich, and all this stuff. But the thing that's funny about Trump was his private jet is a 727. Mine's a Lear 60. But his jet's bigger than mine. And a capitalist like you and me will go, someday I'll have a 727. That's a capitalist. But a communist will say, screw the rich. They're bastards. They steal from them. So it starts with the attitude of the individual. That's why I created Rich Dad. And we have to teach people to be capitalists because our schools are teaching us to be communists. My first investment was a gold coin. The date was 1972. It was illegal for Americans to own gold. I put it in my pocket, came off the ship, and nobody checked. But I felt like a criminal as I smuggled this gold coin. But that gold coin today is worth almost $2,000. And I still have it. So
What'd you pay for it?
$50.
$50 to $2,000.
I don't trust the dollar. For most of my life, I've saved gold and silver. I have millions in gold coins and silver coins. I just kept saving it because I don't trust the dollar. Everybody can buy a silver coin today for $20. But how many people will go to a coin shop and buy it? Probably none. You see, when people say we should tax the rich, that's communism.
Yeah.
You know, so, do you know what I mean? We don't pay taxes, we make millions legally. We use debt as money because money became debt in 1971. But schools will not teach you that because teachers are communists. They don't want us to be rich. My poor dad did not like rich people. It's a common human thing, greed. When I was a kid, you see somebody with a Ferrari, you go, oh, I'm driving a little Toyota, you know. It's natural. So he said, I get jealous and greedy. That's being human. If you understand history, the reason I pay no taxes is because I borrow money. I'm a debtor. And check this out. I mean, all you communists out there, check this stuff out. I am a billionaire in debt. You know why? Because I get tax breaks for borrowing money. And the reason I am so rich is because I'm in debt. And my friend Dave Ramsey says, live debt free. Well, you're an idiot. I mean, he's my friend, but I say, Dave, I like debt. He says, I know, but most people can't handle debt. I said, I agree. But that's why there's no financial education in schools, because if you knew how to handle debt, you wouldn't save that crappy dollar you have in your hand. I'd rather borrow the money tax-free.
Well, in one of your YouTube videos, you actually said that you're currently $600 million in debt. No?
1.2 billion.
1.2 billion, okay. There we go.
So today I own about 12,000 rental units, but that's not the story. The real story is how did I acquire those property? I used debt. And that's what they don't teach you in school. You see, the more debt I use, the more property I own, the less tax I pay. And so then these communist school teachers tell you to get out of debt, like what's his name, Dave Ramsey and all that, live debt free. And that's good advice for the average person because debt will kill you. But debt is money today. And so when I acquire an asset, I use debt. That's the biggest payoff there is. When I wrote Rich Dad, Poor Dad, every editor in New York said, you don't know what you're talking about. So I said three things. Number one, the rich don't work for money. The rich work to acquire assets. Number two, look how much inflation and taxes are killing this thing because savers are losers. And number three, what's happening in America today, I'm sure here, there's tens of thousands of people are laid off. What's killing them is their house. They can't afford the mortgage. So your job as a capitalist is to turn a liability, a house, into an asset.
So do you rent your own home?
No, but I have $15,000 to cover that. You don't buy gold coins to make money. You buy gold coins because the dollar is going to go down. I don't trust the dollar. For most of my life, I've saved gold and silver. That everybody can buy a $20 silver piece. Everybody can afford $20. Will they do it? No. They'll be at Starbucks sucking it down instead. Well, there's two kinds of debt. Now, this is basic financial education, or financial literacy, they call it. There's good debt and bad debt. Good debt is debt that somebody else pays off for you. So when I buy an apartment house with my friend Kenny, I don't pay for it. The bank lends us the money and debt is tax-free, right? So let's say we put $1 million down to buy a $5 million apartment house. So we now have a $5 million asset and our tenants pay for that. That's good debt. But I take out my credit card to go eat sushi, that's bad debt because I got to pay for it. You want to be rich? Don't be an employee.
Okay.
You want to be rich? Be an entrepreneur.
Okay.
Well, it's a choice. Employees have to save money, get out of debt, buy a house,
Right.
and invest in the stock market. I don't touch any of that stuff. I'm not saying you shouldn't, but I don't have to.
Okay.
I'm an entrepreneur. I buy the gold mine. I get the gold. I buy the silver mine. I buy the real estate. I buy the hotels. I do not save dollars.
Okay.
I use debt to buy real estate.
Right.
I pay no taxes legally,
Yeah.
and I save gold and silver. Go to school, get a job, work for money. Worst advice possible. That's what my message is. Work for assets. Don't work for this. So I own lots of real estate. I own lots of Bitcoin. I don't work for this. I'm giving you early warning. This is going down. So I go around the world saying to people, stop working for this. And the school teachers say, no, you have to work for this. Get a job, get a job, get a job. But you know, and I know what's coming next. AI jobs will disappear. I can see the future. My God.
Would you recommend investing in oil then? Is that something that you personally invest in?
Let me just say it again. I used to be on CNBC, but I say I don't invest in anything they can print. I don't invest in this, stocks, bonds, ETFs. I'm an entrepreneur. I start gold mines, I start oil wells. I invest in cattle, Wagyu cattle.
Yeah.
You know why? Because every time the that the Wagyu bull breeds, I get cash flow. I trust the Wagyu cattle more than Joe Biden.
And most poor people confuse assets for liabilities. They think their home is an asset, it's actually a liability.
Right. So I own 7,000 rental properties. Those are assets. Every month, the cash flows in. Whereas many people have the big house on the hill and the cash is flowing out.
Right.
And they're going broke.